on the end.
Good morning. I'm here with Ray Billy today and doing some more of the festival memories as we look towards doing our festival this summer here at Mount Carmel campus. And Ray is going to recall some stories and some ideas and some recall from his own days of growing up here in the Ashtabula area. So let me turn the camera towards Ray and I'll give him the audio and the video from this point. Ray, it's good to have you here at the parish house, and thank you for taking the time out to come out today to share memories and some thoughts about the festival from years gone by.
Okay.
And I suppose, like as mentioned, maybe even just talking about some of your fondest memories or just some things that highlight you from days gone by. I mean, you were telling me earlier before we started that you were at the church,
Yeah.
and you were probably beginning to take part in the festival celebrations.
Well, even before that, I remember my first remembrance is 1945. I was 5 years old, and that summer the war had just ended in Germany in 45 in May. We were still fighting Japan, but the festival was held at currently where you have the Sons of Italy in the back area there. I remember my father taking me there, and that was 1945. The other early ones that I remember, we used to block off 16th Street to the north of the church. That was blocked off, and we would set the stands up there. But I think those were only Saturday, Sundays. There was no Thursday, Friday, or anything.
Yeah, probably started off much smaller in those earlier days, where it's food festivals and people gathering and socializing and having drink.
And I don't know if they had a Saturday dinner. The Sunday dinner, the women of how I remember this, my aunt was making sauce, my mother was making sauce, Mrs. Miller, and they'd all walk over to the old church with their pans of sauce, and that was all combined when they did the dinner on Sunday. All the women of the parish brought the sauce there. But that dinner was held at the basement, if I remember, of Old Mount Carmel Church.
Over on 16th Street.
Yes, on 16th Street. That's my earliest remembrance, was 45 through, now when they changed where the festival was held, this property here, the 25 acres, was given to the church by Mr. Laszlo. His house is the brick house on the end there. That was the Laszlo household. He used to make blocks. In fact, the building is still there where he made blocks. And then they start doing the festival here when they had the property. That was before the school was built, the church, or even the parish house.
The grounds had to be, or the ground had to be fairly well cleared then into like a field.
It was actually a field. There were no trees or anything. It was a field.
Probably did farming out here, I would imagine, earlier before
Mr.
that.
Laszlo could have.
The
current tree situation is exactly what it was then. Okay, I remember we were burning some of the weeds here, and it almost got out of control. I was probably in high school at that time. And we might have been doing that to get the field ready for the festival. I don't remember that for sure. Okay, but that's when it was moved here. So I'm guessing that probably was around 53, 54. They stopped doing it down at the old church and then came up here to the property here. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Now, at the old church, when they had the 9-day novena, that property to the south of the church where you have, in fact, the church of the parish house is still there. He added on to it, the man that bought the property that has all of
the apartments that are there now.
Well, the procession every evening would go right around there and then back into the church again. And that was every night during the 9-day novena. They would do that. I'm not sure if they would process with the monstrance. I don't remember that for sure. They might have, but I'm not sure. Now, when they stopped doing that procession, probably when they came up here and they built a new church, then they weren't doing that anymore. But
The main focus used to be up here then.
yeah,
And then probably still something with the church for the end of for at least the July 16th feast, for when the feast actually took place, I would imagine. Um, uh, just to finish up the novena of the Our Lady of Montcalm
yeah.
at the church. But the
Now-
festivities started to go up,
Yeah,
be
then
moved
they
up
came,
here.
then they came up here. But the last thing with the angels, I remember being on a back end of a truck, and we went down 16th Street. Now I probably was 12 years old, down 16th Street up, and it was in that corner of 16th and Harbor Avenue that the last thing with the angels was done. But I only remember one girl, not two.
So you do remember the angels,
I
the
do
girls,
remember.
at least one or two girls being acted
Yeah,
as angels.
But that was
yeah.
the last time that was ever done. Father Fife was the pastor.
Uh-huh.
Had just become the pastor at that point. So they never did that anymore, and I don't know the reason why they stopped doing that.
My guess would be the danger of it all
the
too.
danger,
I'm
the
sure.
liability,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I never thought
With
about
insurance,
those
and,
things.
earlier on, I don't think. Yeah.
Well, I know my cousin Madeline said she was one of the angels. So I don't remember that, and I don't remember who the girls were. They probably were maybe around my age, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the girls that we've seen on the videos, they look like they're about 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
because you don't want anybody real older because of the weight, to kind of keep
And they
them
had
on as well.
baskets, and they would drop rose petals
Uh-huh.
onto the crowds below. And then they sang an old Italian hymn, Viva Maria, the life of Mary. Okay, I don't remember the words or anything, but I know my mother and my Aunt Carmel, they used to all sing that. And when they stopped singing that, I can't answer that.
Yeah, probably once the ones that knew it were no longer around.
Yeah,
they
the
started
old
losing
people were
them.
no longer around.
Because my hunch would be some of those songs in Italian came with those who came here from
over
Italy,
here.
brought them
yeah,
songs and
yeah.
continued them.
Right.
But as their children and grandchildren grew, did not become so familiar with them and lost the words and the
Yeah, it
melodies.
used to go, Viva Maria, da 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 da. See, and I don't know the rest of the words.
I get the melody still in
Right,
memory.
but I remember that melody.
Yeah.
And then the band, which used to be guys that played musical instruments here, they had their own band. Tony Sposito and Mr. Masucci. In fact, he wrote a hymn, Mr. Masucci, that we sang at the old Mount Carmel Church when we had the choir there. And that's where they used to play. Now, I've got the written music for one of those marches at home. I finally got a copy of that from Mary Bernardo because it was one of my favorite pieces of march music, and she got me a copy, and I do have that at home. And if you wanted to see it,
Yeah, we should get it into maybe Kim's hands or somebody, just to
Right.
kind of look at it, to
Yeah.
pick up the melody on it.
You know, and
Maybe
actually
it'd be
that-
nice to hear something like that from the past.
it's on here.
On that
The one-
video, on
the
that
one
cassette?
that I really like, dum 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 dum.
Uh-huh.
It was just, it was just a beautiful, beautiful march music, and I used to wait for that to be played. But it is here. They did play it here.
You have that cassette from way back, and then we need to find a cassette player to
I'm
be
gonna
able to
buy
play it.
one,
And
hopefully in the next couple of days.
they're rare,
This
you know.
goes back to 73, I'm guessing, because the new church here was dedicated in 73.
I think the cornerstone says 73, 74, something
Yeah,
like that.
But see, I think they still had the old church with the festival music and everything else at that point. Boy, I wish we had that church. I really do. I miss it. When they tore that down, I don't remember. Let me see what else do I have here that I was on. A couple of things I remember. Father Fight introduced a $25,000 first prize. Now that's a long time ago.
And that was a lot of money too.
Well, that was the
Wasn't it?
only prize. There were no second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Uh-huh.
So when they introduced, they dropped that down and introduced other prize monies. I don't remember, but that was the first one with the big prize like that.
This year we're doing. I think it's $12,000 with $4,000 a night for 3 nights, with that lottery. That's even half of what that was.
That's just, and when you think about this, going way back to the middle to late 50s, that's a
25,000 was probably more like 50,000 today. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I know when they moved the summer festival down here, they got tired of building and putting these stands up. And that's when the men of the parish decided to build a permanent stands, which were, I'm pretty sure they're still stored in that old garage.
In the garage, the bus garage, the festival garage, we call it now.
When those were built, I'm not sure. I'm going to guess early 80s maybe, when they put those together.
Then eventually they built out from the bus garage to have with the stands that we have there now, the various food stands.
We used to have to build them, I mean, we had all the sawhorses and all that, all the materials. Where they stored them, I don't remember. I do remember taking them out, and you'd have to pound nails and whatever else, having to put everything together. They didn't have any covering over the top, so if we had bad weather, we were...
Of course, if you had bad weather, there wasn't going to be anybody there anyways.
No, there wouldn't be anybody there anyway. And whether or not they would postpone that till the next day, I can't remember. That's been a while.
I think most festivals would go at least 3 days, 2 or 3 days, and then they would continue at least till Sunday. I know.
Father Fight introduced the 4-day festival, and the 4-day festival was done because we had the horse show Thursday and Friday, in conjunction with the Arcaro saddlery. They were members of Mount Carmel. In fact, the Arcaros are distantly related.
That's the place on 193 used to be. Right. I think they're closed now.
They've since
in the last 2 or 3 years.
They've since discontinued. But they had the saddlery way back when. And the original Arcaros lived the bottom of 17th Street. The house is no longer there. There was a groomed area, and then they lived right behind where my grandparents lived. And we were related to them. But that goes...
Of course, everybody's related.
Everybody related to everybody. Used to be a joke. Used to be a joke. You can't talk about anybody because they be related.
There's no joke. It's a reality.
It's a reality, yeah.
Why don't we wrap it up with that? We've gone for a significant, and then why don't we look at maybe setting up another time and give you a chance to kind of put some more notes together, and just continue our conversation.
See if I can get this.
If we get a sound recording, at least to hear the recording of that, that would be nice to do. We could talk about that next, okay?
Something tells me, I think they put a recording of this on one of the soundless videos, I think. I don't know. I didn't do that.
That's like on the YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to just turn this camera around again.
Okay.
And there we go, back to me. To just say it's been a joy having Ray here talking to us about the festival. And I'll continue the conversation with him at another time. And I'm still looking for some other people to share some old memories of the festival as we head towards July feast day celebrations, the Novena of 9 days and the feast itself. So have a wonderful day, everyone. I am doing well, by the way. My treatments are going along well. I'm 6 weeks into my treatments now, and I think I'm into my 6th week and 3 more to go. I just do feel a little bit fatigued towards the latter part of the day, so I just learned to continue to take some rest. Continue to keep me in prayer as I keep all of you in prayer too. So God bless you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.